Can you openly fellowship with Christians? Can you attend church on Sunday without hiding? Can you share your faith without fear of imminent danger? I know I can, but many can't. And I know some of them personally, and they have a lot to teach us. So let's talk about this. Hey, my name is Steve and welcome to our channel, where our aim is to help you increase your knowledge, know-how, and involvement in global missions. In a certain area of Asia, I have some friends and some Silk Road Catalyst colleagues that when they come together to have a meeting, like for ministry, they have to put their phones and their tablets or all electronic equipment into another room and shut the door so that when they meet, the government cannot listen, because it's well known that the government can tap into their devices even when their devices are turned off. And they do this because if the government is listening, they're listening to crack down on them. A few weeks ago, one of my colleagues led 6 people to Christ. Now, these 6 people live in a community of about 250 to 300,000 people. And as far as we know, they're the only 6 known Christians now in this community. But if the religious leaders in their community found out, let's just say it's not going to be good for them. Right now, as you're watching this video, there are 3 Christians sitting in a jail cell in Southeast Asia. And they're sitting in there because they held a private worship service in a village. A few years ago, a friend of mine in India and his team were attacked by religious radicals. And the result was my friend and his team ended up in the hospital in critical condition. One of them died. And the reason for being attacked was for sharing the gospel. Now, moving closer to home, one of our very own SRC colleagues, when he became a Christian, his father hired a hitman to kill him, not once, but twice. And his mother-in-law poisoned him, which caused him to be hospitalized and on his deathbed. But thankfully, by God's grace, they didn't succeed. Now, in light of the stories I just shared with you, I want to speak to those of us who live in places where persecution is rare or non-existent. Because there are 3 things I believe they are indirectly teaching us that will help us follow Jesus just like they do. First, we need to learn from them. You know, honestly, I think from an American perspective, we often go to these places where persecution is real, and sometimes we have this mindset that we are there to teach them or to help them. And in reality, we need their help just as much as they might need our help. In this case, we need to learn how to face opposition and threats. We need to learn how to face them with grace, forgiveness, and love for our enemies. Now, we may not be in their situation just yet, but you know what? Let's learn today so that if it does come our way, we'll be ready for it. Second, be encouraged. Be encouraged by their lifestyle. I mean, these brothers and sisters, at least the stories I shared, they are faithfully proclaiming the gospel despite the opposition they're facing. And they are loving those who persecute them. So be encouraged that even in deep opposition, God is with us and He will give us what we need to face it and to love those who hate us. And third, mimic them. If they can go out there, proclaim the gospel, make disciples, and plant churches in the communities that really may not like them or may cause them problems if they find out what they're doing, if they can do that in the face of opposition or even real potential threats, then those of us who live in places where persecution is rare and non-existent, what excuse do we have? Hey, if you found this video valuable, I encourage you to share it, like it, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you next time.